Good morning and welcome to Three Questions with. Got Dan Boynton with us from Stratus Telecom. Hey Dan, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
So why don't we start at the beginning? Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Sure. We're a family-owned telecommunications company that provides services nationally. Most of our business is in New England and along the East Coast. We provide phone service and internet services and other telecommunications.
So like I said, I think that's kind of important because as a business owner, we're so reliant on our telecom. My former life, I worked in a bank, and take down the phones for a day, take down the internet so we're not connected for a day. And that was always the worst day of my life as the guy who was in charge of it there. You know, because anytime I walked out of my office, every eye in the building would be on me. We're still down, everyone. I'll promise I won't forget to tell you. So that's become much more essential, especially now with people working from all over the place, right?
Sure. Yeah, and that's where we differentiate ourselves between the big guys, right? Is having awesome customer service, caring about, local and small businesses in our community. We're one of the few sustainable phone companies in the US. Yeah, it's all about having a high quality product with a redundancy, in multiple locations across the US and being 24/7/365, US based customer service. So.
Yeah, like you said, that's a term I had to learn about redundancy, Dan. That is essential because again, if you have one point and it fails, everything's down and stuff. So, having to learn about the redundancy and having it away from where you are so that if something's down in New England, well, if I have redundancy someplace else in the country, hopefully I'm still up. So you got to think a little bit about redundancy when you're doing it, right?
Yeah, on multiple levels, redundancy on even the right down to the individual phone level. So someone spills a cup of coffee on their desk phone and it automatically fails over and starts sending calls to their cell phone, right? Stuff like that.
Yeah, that is amazing. Now, Dan, are there certain industries you work with?
Yeah, as far as we are business to business, so we do anything from a small pizza shop to universities and multi-location hospitals and insurance companies, etc. Lately, we've been focusing on multiple dwelling units like apartments and resorts and doing a lot with senior living facilities and focusing on those verticals, if you will.
Yeah, it makes sense. Let's talk a little bit about some of the products that you have, because I think when most people hear telecom, they think phone. A little more involved in that, though.
Yeah, and that's where we started, was phones and phone service, and we've expanded to internet and Wi-Fi access and other managed services and things like that. Phones, just to be more specific about that product, we do everything from cloud phone systems to connecting to your existing phone system to specialized iFax services and business text messaging, contact and call center phones and phone service. So you can have remote agents or agents in a building all working and answering calls in queue, things like that. From other services, we specialize in like senior living. We have a really amazing technologies around TV to allow those residents to communicate with family members and staff just using the click of the remote, which is what they're used to in that community. So we get specific technologies to specific verticals as well. But you're right, it's all involved, and it's knowing how they all work together well and being able to support that for the customer, for the business.
I have to admit, Dan, I'm fascinated by that TV idea, because what a great way to allow people in assisted living to be able to connect to their families. Maybe you don't live close enough to come visit as often as you like, but like you said, it's not, hey, Grammy, let's do FaceTime, assuming Grammy has a cell phone, being able to do it, like you said, on a device she's already familiar with, a remote she's already familiar with, seems like a winning idea.
Yeah, and it's also controlled by the admin at the building, and, and family members can have apps on their phones to communicate directly. It really fits those needs.
That is amazing. Dan, what's the best way for people to reach out to you? How can they learn more, my friend?
Sure. You can email dan@stratustele.com or sales@stratustele.com, STRATUSTELE.com. That's also our website, or 603-846-6090.
Dan, I really appreciate you taking a few minutes out of your day to call into the show. And as always, thanks for being my friend.
Thank you. Have a great